Hey everyone, welcome back to Skillari. Today we are here to enhance your skills. Today we are going to talk about top 5 Python libraries. Now, there are a lot of libraries in Python and getting only 5 of them is quite hard. These 5s might be much biased from my side as these 5 are something which I feel is the top 5 Python libraries for me, but most of the times I have seen that people prefer these 5 libraries as the Python library, most famous Python libraries. So I have crowdsourced my work to support my answers for this. But again, there are no top libraries into this. All we have, it depends upon your use case, what you are using. This is basically something which I feel are the top for me and for people in the data community. So let's start up with the video. TensorFlow. TensorFlow is something that if you are in the data industry, then you might have heard a lot about it. It is open source artificial intelligence library using data flow graphs to build models. Now, it allows developers to create large scale neural network with many layers. Most of the time when we talk about object detection or face detection, it is backend up by neural network, and probably that neural network is created by TensorFlow. We can create deep neural network, large scale neural network with large scale various numbers of layers using TensorFlow. It is mainly used for classification, then prediction and creation, discovering, understanding. All of these use cases are backend up by TensorFlow. It is one of the most popular and commonly used term in between our developers. If you are currently working on Python, you will be very much familiar with this term. People who jump into Python, there's a high case that you will have heard about TensorFlow. That's the amount of user base it has. The next library is scikit-learn. Again, this is something not new. Everyone knows about it, and it is quite famous again in the data industry. Without it, I believe most of the data scientists, fresher level data scientists, will be just harassed up, because it helps us to implement algorithms without writing any particular code. If you are having a regression problem and you want to do an linear regression, then rather than writing the complete algorithm for linear regression, what you will do is you will call out the scikit-learn library from which you will be calling out the linear regression model. You will create a class of it, create an object of it. From that object you can just put out your data, fit it, and predict out the prediction, maybe interpolation or might be extrapolation. So that's how famous scikit-learn is. Scikit-learn is probably the most useful library for machine learning in Python. If you are just jumping into machine learning or just have completed Python and want to move into something, that scikit-learn is something that you can look up to. All the traditional algorithms that we have are present in this. All the scikit-learn library contains a lot of efficient tools for machine learning and statistical modeling, including classification, regression, clustering, and dimension reduction. Numpy. As you know that Python by itself doesn't support arrays. For this, we will be needing an external library, that is NumPy, which helps us build NumPy arrays. So by installing our library NumPy, we can just get the support of NumPy arrays in Python. NumPy is a library for the Python programming language, adding support for large multi-dimensional arrays and matrices, along with a large collection of high-level mathematical function to operate on this layers. Maybe you have an array, you want to find the median of it, you want to find the mode of it, let's say the mean of it, or the general shift of it. Then NumPy is the place that you are looking for. If you're someone who is working with large scale image data, then probably what you will be doing is take that image, convert it and add a pass into your model, and then try to predict it out. NumPy is the thing that you will be using for converting your image into array. Let's look into the next thing. Pandas is again very famous right now in the industry, and anybody who has just completed Python will be jumping to NumPy and Pandas directly. Pandas is a software library written for the Python programming language for data manipulation and analysis. analysis. In particular, it offers data structures and operation for manipulating numerical tables and time series. If you have structured tabular data, then pandas is something that you will be using a lot. Pandas is something that I use a lot in my day-to-day life. The day I started my journey as a data scientist was the day I just jumped into pandas and getting got deeper and deeper into it. Pandas is again a library that you should be looking upon. The next, but not the least, is LightGBM. Now, some people might not have heard about it because if you are a beginner, then this is quite, it might be quite new to you. Let me explain what is LightGBM. Gradient boosting is one of the most used and most efficient machine learning library. Now, just to make you sure what is gradient boosting, LightGBM stands for gradient boosting machine. So it's a free open source distributed gradient boosting framework for machine learning. Originally it is developed by Microsoft. So over here you can see this image. This icon already looks a bit like Microsoft colors. So this LightGBM library was built up by Microsoft, and it is open source, so it has a huge community and more upgrades are just coming into play. Gradient boosting was one of the most and the most efficient machine learning library by which developers can build new algorithms by using the redefined elementary models. We have more libraries to cover, but that's it for this video. We have covered 5 libraries which are the top notch libraries in Python. If you like the video, hit a share. If you want the part 2 of it, just spam anything in the comments and make sure to subscribe it out. That's it for this video. This is Skillari. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. We will meet again in our next video.